everything goes dark, and you die.
This review contains no spoilers and makes no sense. Slay the Princess is a game. I mean, it's technically a visual novel, so not really a game, kinda. Slay the Princess just may be a game. But what's it about? Of course, it's about slaying the princess. A princess. Sometimes. Except when it really isn't, which is kinda all the time, and also kinda never. Sometimes it's about romancing the princess. And other times it's about being killed by the princess. So basically it's about sometimes slaying the princess, and sometimes not. Since I can't say much more without spoiling any important things in the game, let's go over to the characters. You play as the hero, who is actually just kind of a schizo, since you have voices in your head. Sometimes they are heroic, sometimes they are a complete pussy, and sometimes powerful enough to bend the fabric of reality. You can heed them, or you can just choose to completely ignore them. Your will is your own, and your decisions are the ones that matter. Most of the time at least. Except when they don't really. Now, the narrator. The narrator is a character that speaks directly to you. He is one of the most important characters in the game. He has a good amount of lore that we won't be getting into, because of spoilers, of course. He controls the reality, as in, for something to happen, he needs to narrate it. So if at some points you are at odds with him, he can just decide what happens on his own, against your will, that is. He wants you to slay the princess, but doesn't want to tell you why. So his sanctimoniousness is put up against your morals, or your simping. Arguing with him is a lot like arguing with your parents, when you would ask for a clarification on why something has to be some way, and they would, very insightfully mind you, answer, just because. Asking the narrator any question is a complete waste of time, because you will not get an answer. Ever. That is, of course, until you do, but you'll know when you get there. Now onto the princess. The princess is the titular target of your, well, attempted regicide. She's kinda cute, except of course, as usual when she isn't, which luckily is only sometimes. And really depends on your tastes. She is your main opponent, because just as the narrator wants you to kill her, she, more often than not, does not want to die, or wants you to die. Moreover, she also wants to get out of the dungeon that she's chained in, which is actually just a hut on the hill. She is very much your average young girl. She is kinda cute, kind, overall understanding, a bit emotionally distant, argumentative, aggressive, vile, spiteful, vain, vindictive, forgiving, utterly unhinged, homicidal, suicidal, psychotic, and gentle. She is pretty much the perfect woman, and if given the chance, or given no other chance, will become exactly the woman you want her to be. And last, but definitely not least, the voices. If you die, the you that died becomes one of the voices in your head, with all the personality you had shown until you died. If you never gave a shit about any of the decisions, you will get a voice that doesn't give a shit. If you rebelled against the narrator on an attempt, your new inner voice will become rebellious, and so on. Small spoiler ahead, you can get the simp voice. Figure out for yourself how to get that one. The simp voice can control reality just as hard as the narrator can. And he will. This will not be explained. The gameplay. Now, when it comes to the gameplay, this is still a visual novel, so there is no classic gameplay. However, despite being a visual novel, it is never boring. You make a decision, and the consequences thereof can be felt instantly. The game never bogs you down with unnecessary stuff, and because of the rather extreme nature of the characters and scenarios, it always keeps you engaged. The exception is of course when you are repeating a route just to see what happens on the next attempt. But since it's actively repeating a route, I don't think that matters. It very much feels like the game respects your time per playthrough. Getting all the endings and paths probably takes pretty long, but I'll only get there after the video is out. The game feels like it respects both your time and your input, and I personally love that. Oh, also, yeah, there is time loops. The plot, on the other hand, is only revealed to you at the end of your playthrough. Since I don't want spoilers, I can't say much about it. All I can say is, it only matters as much as you want it to matter, which in my case is quite a bit, so I also quite liked it. Figuring the plot out is also one of the most fun things in the game, especially before the game actually decides to hold your hand a bit and talk you through it. It's good, and I can't really say more. The music and sound design is also quite nice. It never really stands out in any way that steals the spotlight, so it's not super remarkable, but what it wants to do, it does excellently, which is just to have a nice ambient background track that helps elevate each scene while never taking your attention away from it. The art. When it comes to the art, if you've glanced at the screen for even a moment thus far, you've seen it. I imagine it's a matter of taste. I personally love that it's hand-drawn, like in pencil and stuff, so it gets a clean 10 out of 10 from me in that department. And the princess easily takes the spotlight here. Her looks change depends on the run, and almost all of them look amazing. If you haven't glanced at the screen so far, I guess I assure you that the game looks both pretty and is hand-drawn. And at last I want to mention the voice acting. All of the voice acting is done by only two people, Nicole Goodnight as the princess, and Jonathan Sims as like everyone else. I think they did a great job. I haven't 100%ed the game yet, so I probably missed a few good scenes. I wouldn't call them exceptional, sure, but I also haven't seen them put in a situation where they needed to be exceptional. Okay, basically what I'm trying to say is, they did a great job with what they had to do. Like, I would probably hire them again. Still, I think that both of the voice actors in this game did an amazing job. Now for a completely arbitrary final verdict. I recommend this game. It is a good game. If you are the kind of person who likes to get involved to the point of replaying, or even, God forbid, making a video, this could be a great game for you. If you want to try this as a one and done deal and aren't too sure, maybe just wait until it's on sale again. Also, I give it an arbitrary 9.5 out of 10. God bless and hope to see you around.
Everything goes dark, and you die.